It's time for another experiment. I want to find a way to fall over 1 million blocks through the void in unmodified vanilla survival Minecraft, just because I think I can. For science, the void is Minecraft's most hostile environment. Once you pass 64 blocks beneath the world's lower build limit, you'll begin taking 2 hearts of damage every half second until your character dies. So then, how exactly are you supposed to survive down there for any longer than like 5 seconds? If your immediate answer is to load up on enchanted golden notch apples, then you're on the right track. But in the latest version of Minecraft Java, that won't even get you down below 1 million, even if you optimize it perfectly. So then, what's the strategy? Potions, armor, glitches, exploits? Today, we're gonna investigate all of that, and believe me when I say that we will succeed in falling more than 1 million blocks. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Starting off, how far down can we go when we exclude using notch apples? Understanding this may help us maximize our distance for the long fall, so let's look into it. First off, Minecraft Bedrock Edition is not viable for this because there exists a layer of invisible bedrock 40 blocks below the lower build limit in all dimensions, including the end, but that doesn't exist in Java Edition, so let's use that. In 1.21, the void actually starts at minus 64 blocks, but I've changed this back to 0 for this experiment, so following along isn't super annoying. Rapid tutorial time. I did this by extracting the vanilla data pack from the 1.21 jar, dropping in a pack.mc meta file so that the game would read the data pack. Then I modified this file and this line to change the bottom of the world to 0 blocks. Just drag and drop the folder into the world creation screen and you're done. It has a pretty fun effect on normal worlds, and there are a ton of world generation artifacts that you can modify by screwing around with all of these files. But let's get back to business. How far can we fall? If we just walk into the void as is, we'll make it 281 blocks down before the void consumes us, which makes 281 our starting point. Not bad, but we can do way better. In order to fall as far as possible, we need to be moving as fast as possible, which means we need to hit terminal velocity before we hit the void. Starting the fall from 180 blocks up gets us an additional 38 blocks of distance through the void. But why stop there? Let's fall from over 1,000 blocks up. Surely that'll get us to terminal velocity, right? Well, yes, it does. And as a result, we get another 20 blocks of distance down to 339. Pretty good, but we can definitely do better. Instead of sticking to free fall, what about adding in the glider wings, the elytra? I was sure that this would net us a greater fall speed, but amazingly, it does not. I tried a 2,000 block fall with and without wearing the elytra, and both took almost exactly the same amount of time, 28 seconds or so. The first breakthrough I had was with one of my all-time favorite items in the game, a trident enchanted with Riptide 3. The Riptide enchantment lets you sail through the air while it's raining, but only in areas where rain itself is present. That detail is relevant twofold. One being that we cannot just trident thousands of blocks up in order to gain theoretically infinite speed on our way down, because the trident does not work where it's snowing. And two, it also does not work where there is no rain, including the void itself. Still, if we trident up as far as we can, and then all the way back down, with our last trident activation happening as late as possible, we can reach a depth of 351 blocks, which is 70 more than we started with. That's definitely a solid result, but I'm craving more. Way more. There's no way that 351 is our maximum. And it's not, but now is the time to start adding in other in-game effects. After this segment, we're getting into the long fall. But what other methods are there to extend how far we can fall? What about armor? Nope, void damage cuts right through it. What about an elytra boosted with fireworks? No, you actually go quite a bit slower than terminal velocity when you use fireworks. Okay, maybe we can poison ourselves and have the half heart of damage interrupt the void's 2 hearts of damage, allowing for us to fall further because we'll lose health more slowly, except that doesn't work either. Neither does a Totem of Undying. Wait, I know! Maybe if I'm invisible, the void can't see me. No. Do any of these help our cause? Yes, 2 of them do. Regen 2 and Instant Health 2 potions. And the best way to combine both of these with everything we've tested thus far is to reach terminal velocity, drink the regen potion, and then drink the first Instant Health potion right when the void damage ticks for the second time, which the health potion will fully recover, and then just consume as many health potions as you can before the void eventually wins. With that, I was able to fall 610 blocks, which is more than double what we started out with, and really not bad. Given that the next section of the video is about the long fall, I will mention that I did try one other thing, a TNT cannon that shoots you down instead of up. TNT cannons can shoot you kilometers into the air in mere seconds. Could a TNT cannon do the same if set off above you? I wanted this to work so badly, and I even created an elaborate command block contraption to spawn hundreds of TNT right above my head and then precisely remove the blocks below myself and the TNT, but it doesn't really work. Sometimes I go a little further, but it's not enough to make for a better strategy, and oftentimes I just lag during the fall more so than I get distance with TNT. Maybe you can make all of this work a little better than I did though, and if you do, join my Discord and let me know, and subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed the video thus far. But seeing as we've now hit the limit for how far down we can go when we exclude the use of notch apples, now it's time to include them. It's time that we chase our goal of falling below 1 million blocks. We will succeed before the video is over. As mentioned at the outset, Minecraft Java 1.21 is not viable for falling below 1 million. Let me show you. Remember how I said that the void damages you every half second? Well, when we just jump into the void with no notch apples, it takes 6 total hits of damage before we perish. That's 3 seconds. If we eat a notch apple and then jump in, it takes 12 hits of damage. That's only 3 additional seconds, which means we'll have to be eating one of these roughly every 3 seconds for the entire fall. Actually, after some testing, I found that it's one every 3.28 seconds because of some of the regeneration. For all 2,368 inventory slots that we have available, that provides us with 7,767 seconds, or 129.45 minutes of fall time. That sounds like a lot, but at terminal velocity, your character falls at 78.4 meters per second. Put those two numbers together, and under ideal conditions, this method will only allow for you to fall 609,000 total blocks, far short of 1 million. So then, what do we do about this? What are the options? Well, the question at hand for now is this: was the notch apple any better in prior versions of Minecraft? And as it turns out, it was. From 1.6.1 through 1.8.9, the 2 relevant potion effects that the notch apple gave you were a little different than in all versions after. Presently, the notch apple gives you absorption 4 and regeneration 2. But in these earlier versions, you would get absorption 1, which is quite a bit worse, but also regeneration 5, which is way better. Regen 2 gives you 0.4 hearts per second, but Regen 5 gives you just under 3.5 hearts per second. So how does that affect the results? Well, after running another test, I found that eating 32 notch apples allowed for me to survive for 2 minutes and 21 seconds, or 141 seconds. 141 divided by 32 means that each apple is worth 4.40625 seconds. Not exactly a lot more than the 3.28 seconds from before, and sure enough, when we do the same math over again, accounting for the lack of the offhand inventory slot, we get a theoretical maximum of 795,916 blocks. So close, yet so far. As far as Minecraft Java Edition is concerned, this is unfortunately the end of the road. No other version of the game offered Notch Apple benefits as good as this one, at least none of the Java versions. But there is one other option, and it is gonna be enough. I need to apologize, because I'm a big, fat, dirty, stinking liar. In order to fall over 1 million blocks in unmodified survival Minecraft without using peaceful mode, we're going to be using Minecraft Bedrock Edition. The main issue that's been holding us back from considering this version is the invisible bedrock floor that exists 40 blocks below the surface. If we cannot surpass this, then what's the point? Well, the thing is, for this part of the video, I'm willing to start using glitches, and this version of the game has the nickname Bugrock for a reason. There's one bug that's been a part of this version for over 5 years now, and I made a video all about it in 2018. I'll have it linked in the description. Traditionally, this is the bug that I'm most critical of still existing within the flagship version of Minecraft, but today, this glitch is my very best friend. Within Minecraft Bedrock Edition, if you travel 2 to the power 16, or 65,535 blocks out, and you inch your way 1 block further as slow as you can possibly manage, ideally with a low sensitivity game controller, eventually, you'll squeeze in between those blocks and fall right through them. And this will also take you beneath the invisible bedrock barrier. And as fate would have it, this version also has the most overpowered Notch Apple. Java 1.7 gives you Absorption 1, Regen 5. Java 1.21 gives you Absorption 4, Regen 2. And Bedrock 1.21 gives you the best of both worlds, Absorption 4, Regen 5. So how far does the math say we'll go then? Well, instead of leaving the finale of this video up to math and calling it a day, I instead coded a small auto hotkey program to actually do the entire fall, and I recorded every last second of it. It'll be a video posted alongside this one, in case you're insane enough to watch it all. This script handles eating every stack of Notch apples on the hotbar, then it pauses the game and moves the next row of apples onto the hotbar, rinse and repeat until every last apple has been eaten. After 883 Notch apples and 3.5 hours, we surpassed 1 million blocks. That still leaves us with 1,421 more apples, so there's still a long way down. In order to exhaust the entire inventory of Notch apples, it took over 9 hours and 14 minutes, allowing for us to fall 2,606,449 blocks in unmodified survival Minecraft. I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and thanks for watching.